Let's talk about the currency of relationship or relating. The currency of relationship is the currency of connecting around values. And this is very, very important if you want to grow wealth. If you think about it, growing wealth, which is fundamentally around growing your contribution to society, often through business or through a project or through some kind of activity that you contribute, cannot be done without relationships. All business, all money is conducted through relationships. And so relationship becomes a currency because the quality of your relationships and the quantity of your good quality relationships has an enormous impact on your ability to grow wealth and your ability to grow your other currencies. You'll begin to see a pattern here. Each currency helps you to grow other currencies, so they interlock with each other, which is really interesting as you start to explore it. So people who have poor relationships find it very difficult to do business. And even if you hide behind a spreadsheet-based business, maybe a very numbers-based business, you are always having to connect with the person who's going to buy your product or service. You can never get away from that. You can never get away from the communication that connects what you have to offer with another person. Even if you're just presenting numbers or presenting something that's very non-human, you're always going to have to do that with other people. And therefore, we need to grow and nurture this capacity for relating and relating in a quality way if we want to grow our true wealth. And also, if you think about it, one of the major aspects of the wealth of your life is the wealth of your relationships, whether it's your family, your friendships, your business relationships, your community relationships, whatever level of relationships. Imagine life without those, or imagine life where all those relationships are not working well. You do not feel wealthy. You feel poor when your relationships are poor. So it's very important for us to learn how to grow the wealth of our relationships. One of the other things that comes from having a richness of relationships is that you have more choices. Just think about it. More relationships means more clients, more customers, more people who are interested in buying from you, which creates more money. More relationships means that you can find the people that you want to help you do your work, which gives you more time because you're not trying to do everything yourself. More relationships gives you more choices in terms of resources, in terms of contributions, in terms of sharing the experience, in terms of working together. At every level, you'll see that more and better, especially better relationships, is absolutely key. And of course, one of the things that relationships brings us, good relationships, is joy. The joy of this connection with other people around shared values and a shared purpose is one of the things that human beings long for and is definitely a signature of true wealth. So let's have a look at the key principles for growing your wealth of relationships. Most of us have had the experience when we were young of being hurt in a whole variety of relationships. And typically what happens is that you close a little bit of yourself off when you get hurt to protect yourself from being hurt again. And as this happens more and more, you go from being that open-hearted, love everybody, easygoing child into maybe a more closed, more protected, more defended teenager, and then adult. You don't have that innocence and naivety of childhood anymore because you've put these defenses, these walls up around you and around your heart. And the sad thing about that is that affects all your relationships. If your heart is closed, it's closed to everybody, even relationships that feel much better to you now and not so threatening. You'll find that parts of your heart are closed and you're not able to be as open and as free as you'd like to be in those relationships. So it becomes very important to heal the hurts of your past relationships. That's the first principle, so that you can open your heart. That is the second principle. And those two practices really go together. We need to discover places where we've been hurt, which are usually where we get triggered now in our current life. You get triggered by something, and that hurt is a sign that there is a defense mechanism there that's reacting a little bit too strongly. And then you can do processes to help you actually open your heart. And when you open your heart, you start to open up your soul. You start to open up your freedom, your inner freedom. It's like liberating yourself, from the defenses you've created yourself. And then the other principle that's really important if you want to have good relationships is to discover how to love yourself. Your relationship with yourself is really your primary relationship. But I find that we normally need to start to work on our other relationships, and then we come back to ourselves, and then we go back to our other relationships, we come back to ourselves. It's kind of an iterative process. But you cannot expect to have good relationships with others if you don't have a good relationship with yourself. So self-love is an essential component of growing your wealth and enjoying your wealth and experiencing the joy of true wealth. So that's a little bit about this currency of relationship, the currency of connecting around values. And tomorrow we're going to explore the fourth currency, which is wisdom.